Good morning, this is Leah Brooks. Today is April 1st and I just got back from 3 days in St. Louis with my daughter. Had to take her to the doctor, got a really good report, and I came home and I wanted to give you guys a little tour of my tower gardens because I kind of want to show you all what my tower gardens look like on a day-to-day basis. I thought today was a good representation. I haven't been home for 3 days. I haven't done anything to the tower gardens in about 5 days, and I just wanted to show you how they look, and so you can get kind of a real world idea of how the tower gardens look. This is bib lettuce. I'm just going to pull these little leaves off here, and this is my spring mix and some dill that's only a couple weeks old. These lettuces are about 5 weeks old. This is some basil here. I really love basil. This is arugula, and my arugula has gone to flower, and that's what happens after the lettuce is old, I guess I would say. It goes to flower, and then I just pull it. I get rid of it. It's really easy to pull. See if I can show you. Let me just take the whole pot out. The roots and everything come out. Can you see that? And I let it sit. Sorry about the shoe sitting there. The dog had gotten the shoe and taken it out into the yard, and I found it. But I'll take another pot, and this is a pot that I'd used before previously, and you just pop it in and you're ready for the next plant. This stuff right here is a salt that just comes off of the tower because of the acid that you use. It doesn't hurt the tower at all. I just take a hose and I spray the whole tower every few days, and you see I need to spray down here, and there's some little leaves that have dropped and stuff like that. But really, actually spraying the towers is an extremely effective pest management tool, and I love it because you can spray and you don't get dirt that comes up and hits your plants. It really is very effective for getting rid of pests. It's all natural, and in fact, I'll show you what I do with my tomatoes. And tomatoes, as you know, in Florida really suffer from pests, and I'll show you later what I do with them. Here's some green peppers that are growing here, and I have lots of them on here. Here's some mini orange peppers up here. Oh, this little plant needs to go too. So this was viola, and it's good to eat, so bye-bye plant. That's it. It's gone. I'm going to take this out, and oh, there's some more roots. You can see the towers going right there. I'll just take this little pot here and I'll set it over here, and I'll take care of it later. All I have to do is get the roots out and clean it off. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy here. I'm not very good with this. This is lemon basil, my favorite. I love it. This little lettuce plant, that looks a little spindly, doesn't it? We'll see how it does. If it doesn't do good, I'll pull it and replant. This is lemon grass. It doesn't get real big in the tower. I just cut it. I put it in chicken soup. It's good, and in rice. Here's a pepper plant that's a couple of weeks old. Here is one of my tomato plants, and I'll show you all the tomatoes down here. Now what I need to do here is I want to trim off this whole bottom part, because you can let it grow down to the ground, it's just fine, but I kind of like to keep it a little bit neater so that I don't have a mess out here. I sort of like to keep the ground clean. I think it helps with bugs and stuff. Over here I have some spinach. I have to say, spinach is not a super fast grower in the tower, and I might not grow it again. I've grown it a couple times. The first time it went really well, but the last 2 times it's just been slow. So these lettuces will grow really fast. They're only a couple weeks old. They'll grow really fast. This kale here is about a year old. I got my tower in March of last year, my first tower, and this kale plant was the original one that came with it. And so it's a year old, and it's really cool. I just cut it off it this morning. We made smoothies. I think I'm going to try making kale chips. Over here, you can see I have lots of spots open, and that's all right. We'll get those filled in later. This is a Swiss chard that I planted. I might have planted it a little bit too soon, but no big deal. I'll just start over. I mean, it only costs a couple of pennies per seed. It's not a big deal. Right here is my favorite cilantro. It's so flavorful on the tower. Here's a green bean plant, and this one is done. So it's gonna go. I'm gonna pull it out. Here's the roots, the whole plant, gone. It's so easy. Take all these out. I like to get these roots here if I can, as best I can. It doesn't hurt if you get roots that fall down to the bottom. It really doesn't do anything. And here's the pot. I'm just gonna clean it off. And this here is some more kale, a different kind of kale. Here's a newer, oh, that's a pepper. That's a young pepper plant. And so, more lettuce, and you don't have to, but I like to just pull these little bits. If you get any diseased plants, stick it in a Ziploc bag. Stick them in a Ziploc bag and throw it away in your garbage. But just with those little bits, I just throw them in the ground, really. I stick them in the yard, and they're fine. I'm going to want to put a pot in here so a frog doesn't get in there. If it does get in, I'll have to catch it. So I'll put a pot in when I'm done filming. There's lots of peppers here. I'm going to have a lot of peppers. Okay, here's what I do when I have tomatoes that have pests on them. It's so easy. These tomatoes, this morning I came out and it had these little red bugs on them. And I know from experience that they get bigger and they ruin the tomatoes. So they're really easy to spray off with the hose. They come right off. You can pick them off by hand, but it's so much easier to spray them off. They come right back on. So what I do is I put some soap in the bottom of a bucket and I put the tomatoes over the top, and that's another reason why I like to keep the tomatoes kind of compact. And I just spray, and the little buggers go right into the water there, and they can't get out. And then I dump it out, and I keep some soap out here. This is acid, by the way. This is what you put in your towers to keep the pH, in my area, to keep the pH good. Here's some cherry tomatoes here. I do need to trim some of these dead leaves off of the plant. This guy, I have one little sugar snap pea. Not too impressive, so I might let that pea go and then just pull the plant. This is a fennel plant. I'm gonna make chicken soup with it. I just planted it for fun, and we'll see what happens with it. It's getting pretty big because I haven't taken the time to pull it, but I need to do that. Over here, this is eggplant here. I gotta say, I planted this eggplant. It's not my favorite eggplant, so I'm gonna pull it. Here's some bok choy, a different variety, and I love it. It's so good. And this is red pepper, and there's lots of little peppers on there. This is my kale again. Parsley, which I use daily. I put parsley in everything. It's so good for you. Or I just come out here and eat it. Again, this is the arugula, which is going to have to be pulled because it's flowering. I could also let it flower and save the seeds. I think that's about it. So, you can see the orange peppers there. I do want to show you my other ground garden that I've been working on. And it's over here. And this side looks kind of pitiful. While I was gone, the dog got into it and trampled all of the onions. I don't know if she ruined them all. And you can see that she trampled all the broccoli too. You can also see that there's some pests that have gotten into them. This is the kind of thing that doesn't happen in the tower because the dogs can't get at the plants and they leave them alone. So it's one reason why I really love the tower. I have a nice tomato plant here. I have another really nice tomato plant here. And I'm growing this in mushroom compost that I got in DeLand. And I just love this tomato plant. And then over here is my Swiss chard. I pulled these off the tower a couple weeks ago because they had just gotten really big. And as you can see, they're absolutely beautiful. I harvested almost all the leaves last week. And they've just come back. And they look like this in the tower too. They're beautiful. Over here I have green beans. You can see that the dog, again, trampled the green bean plants. and I have some carrots, broccoli. There's some spinach back there that looks really good. The nice thing about this garden is growing well, but the thing to keep in mind, it's going to be gone by the middle of June. It'll be too hot and everything will die. But with the towers, they won't. The towers will go through the summer. I might have to replace some of the plants, but I'll be able to grow stuff in the towers. Here again, a dog trampled beets, but what do you do? I love her. So I hope that gives you a good overview, and I do plan to make more videos, so I want to show you guys how to do this and show you how easy it is. And I was reading Jeremiah 29 this morning. It's my favorite passage in the Bible, or one of my favorites. And God is talking to the captives that Nebuchadnezzar has taken to Babylon, and he says, I want you to marry, have children, build houses, plant a garden, pray for the prosperity of your nation, and I will take care of you. And I think that's really helpful advice for us in our times, because we sometimes feel like captives. We're not, but we sometimes feel like it. And God is telling us, hey, take care of yourselves and live in a manner that you can sustain yourselves, and I'll take care of all the details. And I think these are my Jeremiah 29 gardens, and the Lord told me to plant gardens, and he also encouraged me to share these gardens with you all, because I think that we all could save some money and be more self-sufficient. This is a really easy way to do it, and it's a way that anybody can plant a garden. So until next time, you have a wonderful day.